Welcome. My name is Dr. Rand Wilson, clinical psychologist. Over the last 10 years, I've practiced mindfulness myself, taught it to many clients, and also trained other clinicians in mindfulness. So as part of this channel, I'd like to offer some episodes that I'll call The Wandering Mind. These will be videos with guided mindfulness practices and also some discussion of mindfulness and the many ways that it can help you to live a better life. So I want to start off with the basics. When someone's learning mindfulness, it can be kind of challenging. It's a pretty confusing concept, and if it's not explained in the right way, it can set people off on the wrong path with practicing. So I'm going to try to break it down in less than 5 minutes and offer you a practice so you can give it a try. So here's a really simple way of thinking about what mindfulness is and why it's so important to practice it. So you may have heard people say at some point that the brain is like a muscle and you need to exercise it. So let's imagine instead that the brain is actually two muscles, opposing muscles like a bicep and a tricep. And let's imagine that we only give attention to one of those muscles in most of the day in our everyday lives. We could call that muscle thinking, or sometimes it's called the problem-solving mode of mind. What this relates to is our ability to transport ourselves out of the present moment into the future as we plan things, back into the past as we remember things. But also within the present, we're doing this mode of mind when we're looking around, evaluating, judging, comparing things. And we do this all day, every day, without even thinking about it. So if you're a human being and you have a pulse, you can probably relate to this experience of being off in your head a lot, being distracted, sometimes being physically present somewhere, but feeling like you're psychologically somewhere else. So let's talk about this other muscle that gets neglected. And so we could think of this as being the part of the mind that's responsible for simply attending to what we're experiencing with our five senses in the present moment. The average adult human being is rarely using this muscle throughout their everyday activities. Most of our days spent thinking, planning, evaluating things, judging. We are not encouraged very often to slow down and just take in a present moment experience. So at some point, you may have come across someone in the gym who maybe gives way too much attention to one muscle group and neglects other muscle groups. Think about someone who sits at the bench press every day and just does bench presses. What's going to happen with that person over time? Their chest is going to get way overdeveloped and they're going to be hunched over. So if you are not practicing any mindfulness at all in your day-to-day life, you might be psychologically hunched over. You're going to be thrown off balance. You're going to have a very hard time staying present. You're going to miss out on important experiences in your life. And you're also not going to be as connected with the people who are around you. So before we practice some mindfulness, I want to start off by discussing 3 common hang-ups when people are first starting mindfulness practice that causes them to give up pretty quickly. The first of which is an idea or an expectation that mindfulness is supposed to be a relaxation exercise. So this is a common misperception. Mindfulness, remember, is just about practicing the skill of being present, open to our present moment experience. It's not about forcing yourself to feel relaxed. And in fact, if you're feeling anxious, that's part of your present moment experience. In mindfulness, we want to practice opening up to that. So don't go into it with the mindset of, I'm going to make myself feel relaxed with this exercise. Instead, go into it thinking, I'm going to sit, be still, and I'm just going to open up to my present moment experience, and I'm going to take an interest in it, whatever it is. The second major hang-up is that people sometimes have the expectation that mindfulness is going to make your mind go blank, and you'll stop thinking completely, which would be nice, but that's of course absurd. If you were going to start working out your back muscles in order to balance out overtrained chest muscles, you wouldn't expect your chest muscles to disappear or just shut off and stop working. You're just trying to strengthen the back muscles to create some balance. Your mind is still going to be there. You're still going to have thoughts from time to time during mindfulness practice, and that's totally normal and part of the practice. Third major hang-up is people sometimes start off with some lofty goals like, I'm going to practice mindfulness for an hour a day, every single day, and I'm never going to miss it. This, of course, is setting yourself up for failure, and it's also just not really necessary, in my opinion. A more realistic goal is to say, I'm going to try to practice some small amount of mindfulness every day, or at least every other day, even if it's just 5 minutes. That's very doable. If you can't sit down for a full 20 minutes, you can usually make time for 5 minutes, or even just 2 or 3 to sit down and be still. So let's go ahead and try this mindfulness thing out. We're going to start off just by allowing your eyes to close. And the first thing I'd like you to do is just bring your awareness to your breath with a few full breaths. And try to notice as much as you can about the experience of breathing. So you might notice the temperature or the feel of the air as you breathe. It might feel humid or dry. It might even have a certain taste or smell to it as you breathe in through the nose. Notice the feel, the sensation of your chest and abdomen moving with each breath. This is very simple, not doing anything complicated here, just noticing what your breathing feels like in this moment. And then I'd like you to notice that at some point your mind will drift off into thought. Remember, this is natural. We expect this to happen. When we have a thought, we practice just noticing that you had a thought. Notice that as part of your present moment experience. And then we're bringing our awareness back to the breath again. Take a few moments just to notice what you're hearing in the present moment. Whatever sounds you're experiencing, notice what those sounds sound like. Does the sound have any texture or rhythm to it? Does it change from moment to moment in any noticeable way? And now let's bring your awareness to what you're feeling, sensing with your sense of touch in the present moment. Noticing the feel of the air on your skin, the feel of the seat underneath your body, again, noticing with interest and curiosity. As you're feeling the air on your skin, notice, what does the air really feel like in this moment? Is it cool? Is it warm? Is it dry or humid? And then finally, we'll go ahead and wind down just by expanding your awareness and noticing all of these different experiences all at once with openness and curiosity. And then allowing your eyes to open and readjust whenever you're ready. So very simple. Just noticing and attending to the present moment with interest and with curiosity. That's it for this video. Keep an eye out for some more where I'll be practicing some different types of mindfulness and also just be talking about mindfulness related topics, how you can work them into your everyday life. Thanks for watching.